Hello and welcome to the BCP, the Brisbane City podcast. My name is Terry
Brisbane City podcast.
My name is Terry Kwak.
I'm Kale. Ngyen.
Kale, Miss Ngyen. Great to see you, and thank you so much for coming along to do the show today. This is our first ever episode. We want to thank the BCC for being involved with the BCP.
Oh, yeah, the BCP,
And-
RSVP'd ASAP.
And we're sorry to the GCC, but
Yeah.
it is the BCP, not the GCC.
This
BC.
has no GST. BTW.
So the reason why we're doing this show with myself, Terry Kwak, and Kale Ngyen is because we are taking over because Mike Goldfarb is away on holidays. So we're going to be giving you the latest from Brisbane,
He's
the
Jewish.
greatest
He's just
city
having a holiday under his house.
in Australia. I think it's some sort of Jewish holiday or something like that.
Kale Kippur.
Yeah, or he's having another hair transplant. So let's get into it, shall we?
He needs his neck done.
Firstly, I would like to talk to you about the fabulous work that is going on at the Jan Powers Farmers Markets, which occasionally you have been frequenting and checking out the latest produce. What is it like, and why should we go?
Lots of kale. It's on every Saturday at the Powerhouse. It's 20 years next year, which is amazing. Manly, first and third Saturday of the month, first Sunday Mitchelton, and I have other new markets coming, which Kale will tell you about in her vegetable report.
What is your favourite fruit at the markets?
Peaches.
And what did you like about the markets when you went there to review it?
Elasticated pants.
And tell me, if you were ever to go to a markets with any celebrity, what celebrity would it be?
Oh, I wish the two fat ladies were alive. They would have been great. Do you remember them who used to just cook whole home food? They were a big thing in like the 80s or 90s or 2000s. They died of alcoholism.
I've got their calendar on the back of my toilet door.
Really?
It's really good. It's autographed by one of their cousins.
Really?
Yes.
Ooh. Hey, speaking of which, my other person, Sammy Power, was in radio for many years with Mike, who's not here, Mike Goldman.
Yes.
What's Mike been doing since he left radio?
Well, I'm not sure because we hang around different circles.
All right.
But I do know that he's been doing something in the
Didn't he this morning?
in the dental industry.
No, tell me what he did this morning.
Oh, Mike wasn't available because he was doing a hearing aid conference for his good friends at Bay Audio, the hearing experts. If you have any problems with your hearing, go to Bay Audio, which Mike apparently does, and he wears hearing
So
aids.
Mike, sorry, Terry, I thought you look a lot like him. Terry Kwak.
How dare you?
So Mike, I think Mike's very attractive. I tried to root him quite a number of times.
Me too, to be honest.
Yeah. So Mike is now opening hearing aid centres and stuff like that.
30 years of television, and that's his pinnacle right there.
He's doing really well.
He really is nailing it. But, he's over the ball. And he, of course, used to work with you on radio back when he was 12.
Sammy, not me.
With Sammy,
twin.
your friend
twin,
who looks a bit like you too. That
Oh, how rude.
I never tried to root.
Yeah.
But I think that he
Just
worked...
because you're engaged, trying to cover it up. Let's get into the show.
Yeah.
Now, there's some really... what I love about nowadays is just dabbling in and out of the media industry. I do it a bit... I mean, she does it a bit for the markets, obviously. I've taken over from my mother, who has Alzheimer's, which is another story, because
Jan was a legend.
Mike's dad is sick too, isn't he? And I try and see the humour in things like that.
Well, Dad's actually writing a book because... Mike's dad is writing a book because he's had cancer for about 8 years.
Oh, really?
and the book is called Chemo D.
Chemo
D, because apparently you get into all these funny situations when you're having chemo.
Comedy.
Yeah, Chemo D is in
that's
comedy.
a really bad title.
Because maybe he needs to work on it, but it's not my dad. It's Mike Goldman's. And so apparently you need to go to the toilet all the time. And Grant Goldman, his name is, has had to pull over on the side of the road, like unexpectedly, and just have to go to the bushes because he's got to do a number 2. And one of the stories he was telling me the other day is he's pulled over on the Wakehurst Parkway and thought it's bushland, and he's gone to the top of this hill and he's gone to do a squat looking for leaves, but he's accidentally slipped back and rolled down the hill, and he's actually ended up in someone's backyard, and there was a man pegging out the washing. So Dad's got his pants down, half a dag hanging out, and then the guy's like, "Can I help you, mate?" So
Have you got any paper?
they're the kind of stories that would be going in his book Keemity, which I think he should write. Keem, that's how you'd say it.
We'll think of a better title.
Yeah.
Terry.
But anyway, so
Mr. Kwak.
how's Sammy Power, your friend's mum?
Mum's hilarious. Like, we laugh. She looks at me with this, like, she still knows who I am. She's 80. She's had Alzheimer's for about 10 years, which is why I left radio and came back up here. And I have loved it because the way radio was going, I didn't like it. I do love this podcast thing. You've broken my podcast hymen, Terry Kwak.
Your podcast, Jerry.
This is my first podcast. Anyway.
Probably be your last.
So
but let me say, your career was incredible. Her career was incredible.
Yeah.
And you were number one in Sydney, in Brisbane, and all over Australia.
Melbourne, Perth, Sunshine Coast.
Gympie.
Ended up in Wollongong, which is the equivalent of opening a hearing loss centre in Mitchelton. So we're on an even scale. Anyway, Mum, so I moved Mum in with me last year because she just wasn't, she lived next door and she just wasn't, okay. So I said, Mum, move in here. And it's good because the house has like one bedroom way up there, and then there's the whole main part of the house, and then my bedroom's down there.
Yeah.
I've got a baby monitor, which is really, because she's fallen over a couple of times, which is awful because I thought I was going mad in the beginning. I wasn't used to it.
You thought you were hearing your mum's voice in your head.
Well, no, she doesn't talk to herself, but it was like the TV, and it was like murder mysteries, and I was hearing like, surely you don't think I did it, and I'm going, in my room, like, because it's a tiny little monitor on the couch under hundreds of clothes. Surely you don't think I killed him? I'm like, anyway.
So your mum would be watching murder mysteries, and she'd say that.
Oh, see, this is Alzheimer's. She goes, we haven't seen this one yet, and I think, oh God, I could mouth the bloody word.
She was a trailblazer in Brisbane, and the reason why a lot of people eat healthy. And a lot of people have jobs in the city every weekend because there's so many. How many markets do they have now?
There's too many now. But she had the first farmers market. So, she had like, I think 12 stalls in James Street before that took over.
That's how it all started?
Yeah. And she's like, we've still got some of those people, which is amazing. But it's funny because Mum loves my cat, Squirrel, which is a big grey cat. And she always goes, how old are the cats? And I go, it's one. And it's named Squirrel. And she goes, I thought it was a cat. And every morning I give her pills. And she goes, what are these for? And I go, memory loss. Anyway, many, many hours of funny stories about our dying parents.
She's a massive celebrity around town. She'd be used to be out there going to every single event and dressing up.
I know, she'd dress amazingly. Like a chicken.
Just to go to Coles, she'd dress up like she was going to a ball somewhere.
But I love that. Why not? It's like using the good cups. I hate people who just hide all the good stuff away.
That's a perfect segue to the Brisbane City podcast Fashion Report. What do you think of Brisbane fashions right now?
Well, it depends where you are, really. I do like, because it's winter here now, I do love flannelette. I do. I love Lowe's. I love Kmart. I think it's groovy now. Everything that wasn't groovy is groovy now. And is groovy or not? I don't know if you could say groovy anymore.
Groovy, a groovy word?
It's groovy to me.
A funky is apparently amongst kids the generation. What are they called? The Generation Z. What do they call them now? The young
Naughters?
kids. I'm not sure what generation they are, but apparently the word funky means smelly. Oh, that's smelling a little funky.
That's funky. You've got to watch the Kardashians to know.
Okay,
what's happening.
okay. That's how they say okay. They talk like
is that it?
Gertrude from G-Force, so a cartoon I used to watch. Can you do that?
So, I love, because a lot of my time is spent sitting with Mum. I have a carer and I go out quite a lot, but then I'm just sitting with Mum. She watches Vera and all of that, and I do my work and I'm on the internet and stuff. And you told me, so I love the weird stuff that's on the internet, like otters that look like Matt Damon, and otters that look like Benedict Cumberbatch.
Otters that look like people.
Yeah, there's a whole.
Haven't they just been like deep etched, or has someone reworked the images or something like that?
No. They people send it in. I love that. I love the mentalness of people going, I'm going to start a site of otters that look like Matt Damon,
or like toast that looks like Jesus's face, and it got auctioned on eBay for like $1 million or something ridiculous.
Apples that look like Grumpy Cat, which they do. If you slice an apple like that, it does look a bit like Grumpy Cat.
Because you've been running the farmers markets for so long, when you look at people's faces, do sometimes they look like different fruits?
They look like pastry.
Pastry?
Yeah, not unbeaten bread. Depends what hour it is, because you have waves. You have the healthy, fit people at 6, and then you have the families, and then you have the hungover people.
So the healthy people at 6, would their face be like a bear claw, and then the older they get, like into the day at the markets, it'd be more like a croissant?
I've just spoken to the council, Terry, Kwak, and they've told me through my earpiece, Kale, that nobody wearing Crocs is allowed out alone. So that's now alleviated that problem.
So if you're going to leave the house and you've got Crocs on, the police will arrest you and take you back home, or will they take you to prison, or what's the story?
No, to a croc farm.
Oh, okay, cool. Okay, so like, what do you think of Crocs? Is it true that they're banned at your markets?
No. Who's ever said that? No, we banned Chinese garlic. Is that somehow related to you?
Oh, yeah. No, actually, I was at the fruit market today and I saw Chinese garlic, and alongside it they had organically, locally made garlic. And I'm like, why would you buy stuff from China?
Because it's cheap.
Yeah, but is it as good? I mean,
Like
I heard they
those-
bleach it and stuff.
Yeah, well, it's bleached and it's topped up, allegedly. But yeah, I mean, I love farmers. They're amazing, interesting people, and they grow it, and, you know, we should support them. So that's that. I don't like being serious, though. I've got another subject about...
What about farmers who wear Crocs?
Oh, they're allowed.
What about new Crocs, the ones
I
with
would
the socks?
like people who press grapes to wear Crocs. I don't like seeing people's feet standing in those buckets.
Yeah, but then some of the grapes might go through the little holes in the Crocs and get more of
You
a
just
rub up against
everything. It's
against the
just-
toenail.
It's generally
and
better.
and then get the toenail juice with the grape juice, and then it'll be squeezed out the end of the Croc. And
Anyway.
imagine getting that in your wine.
I've been watching The Voice, and it makes you realise, I always think I'm fairly, you know, spiritual. I eat healthy food. I don't drink. I don't smoke anymore for various reasons. And I think I'm quite kind and non-judgmental. But when you watch The Voice and you turn around, I'm so judgmental. Like, I just think I do go, and I used to be enormous. I was double this size, and I go, oh no, he's too fat, or he's ugly, he's not going to make it. That is awful, isn't it?
I saw it the other night, and no, it's not awful. That's what the whole show's about. That's reality TV. You're allowed to sit on your couch and judge people.
I want to see Delta and Guy and everyone go, oh no, mate, sorry, nah, I can't. Don't you?
I just tuned in for Sonia Kruger's dresses. She was wearing a
she's
onesie
wearing
the
a
other night
one-piece pantsuit.
with a pantsuit with all the glitter on it. It's amazing. Like, she looked like one of the contestants.
Why do they wear the same clothes for the first 3 months?
Because I've worked on The Voice, and I was doing crowd warm-up and some voiceover stuff, and they would shoot like 20 episodes over a weekend to start off with.
Oh, and then they'd
So for a few
cut it.
episodes, they'd be wearing the same outfits.
Yes, because we've recorded this 40 times. We've been wearing this for about 7 years. But I want to talk about the internet. Let me.
What about the internet?
I want
And why
to
should I
talk-
let you?
I want to talk
I don't
about...
think you're qualified.
Everyone's talking about trolls. I understand that, and they want to get rules for trolls, but I want to get rules for people who pretend to be nice on the internet, and then you meet them and they're
Fake.
horrible.
Fake people.
Do you know what I mean?
Is that a way of catfishing, I guess you call it?
I
You know how
don't
people
know.
have a photo up on Tinder that's not really them? Like what happened to Wally Lewis's son lately? You heard about
Oh,
that?
yeah, no, that was a
Lincoln
big...
Lewis had some girl that was putting up photos of him on Tinder pretending to be him, and she was being mean and saying all sorts of horrible stuff. She ended up getting charged.
Yeah, there was a big story in The Australian, but it's not catfishing. It's just like, you know, those people that always put, don't let the sparkle dim your light, or, you know, all of that
Oh, people
stuff.
that put motivational quotes and stuff up there.
I mean, I have, because some have got me like day one or one day you decide. That's made me kind of go on diets and stuff. But I just think I obviously have a lot of really nice friends. It makes me sick, some of them. They're all like, oh, yeah, I hate being called babe. Yeah, babe, by someone I don't even know. Like, yeah,
That's because they
babe,
can't remember your name.
and they go, yeah, well, I call people like fairy bread and stuff, their Instagram handles, and I don't know their name. And there comes a certain point when you've known someone for a long time, Terry Kwak, that you can't actually ask them their name because, you know, they're your sister.
Kale Ngyen Why do you call people fairy bread and monkey? Is it because you can't remember their names?
No, Fairy Bread is my friend's Instagram name.
Oh, okay.
She's a waitress at my favourite cafe, and she's on Instagram with me.
But you don't know her real name?
No, I don't know her real name anymore.
I got in trouble the other day because I didn't know my fiance's nana's name because I've always called her Yaya.
Well, that's all right.
But I got introduced to her like years ago, but I've always said Yaya. And
I think they're looking for something to get rid of you.
Oh.
They're just picking up anything.
But if you have a nickname for someone, you're not always going to remember their
like
actual real name.
Bluey, and then their name's Kevin. They're Gavin.
Exactly. So it's better to just call them whatever. Hey, it's time for another segment in the BCP. It's the BCP Parks Report. This is a section of the show where we talk to the BCC about the upcoming parks in Brisbane, and there is a park opening.
No, they're shutting the Victoria Park Golf Club, which is apparently going to cause like Armageddon. And they're going to have...
No, it's not. Like two people play golf there every day.
Guess what they're going to have there?
What?
Markets.
They're going to have markets?
More markets. And you have to tender to the Brisbane City Council, who hates me.
That works really well. You've got to be best friends with them like the other guy at the top of the mall. But hey, my gut feeling is that you know, that's not really going to make much of a change. You know, they're just going to stop golf and just let people walk around in there. I mean, what are they going to do?
With a stick, with an orange. Oh, they'll be flashing on Thursdays, which is a very underrated group. I chased a flasher when I was 7 because he flashed my friend on the Gold Coast at the Botanical Gardens, and I chased after him saying, "Hang on, I didn't see it."
What do you think? What do you think they could do there? Because there's a lot of people talking about whether it's just going to be parkland with big long walkways, which is pretty much what a golf course is, or is it going to be entertainment centres? Like this guy, Harvey Lister, he...
I know him.
He runs a lot of the stadiums around the world, the company called Ogden AEG. And anyway, look, they've got a nice photo of him there. That looks like someone said, "Hey, Harvey, can we take your photo? What are you doing in the stadium? Have you got any
friends?
What are you doing in the stadium? The State of Origin's not on for a week."
I'm just sticking numbers under the chairs. You've won a car.
You're a bit late, buddy.
You've won a car.
You're a bit early.
That is so no friends, isn't it?
Oh, poor Harv. But anyway, he's a good bloke and he's done some amazing things in Brisbane for sport and all over Australia and the world. And he's saying to build a big stadium there. And he's also the guy that came up with...
Victoria Park.
Yeah.
It's so hard to get off the... I mean, you know I'm terribly not technical. But it's so hard to get off the road into that place.
Yeah, but they'd fix all that. And what about... He also came up with the idea to put a stadium, Brisbane Live, like LA Live, over the railway tracks. This is what it looks like in... just near the top end of Caxton Street. Do you know where the new cinemas are, the Palace Cinemas?
Yeah, but is there enough of us? Like with all this building, I mean, I love Howard Smith Wharves and I know across the bridge and everywhere they're building all these new things and having a market at every single one and all of this stuff. Is our growth enough to sustain these places? Or
Absolutely.
will they be ghost towns like in the Brady Bunch?
More and more people are moving to Queensland. I think still more people are moving to Queensland
Kylie
than any other
Minogue
state.
did when she left Charlene, when she left Neighbours.
That was a long time ago.
No, they always say they've moved to Brisbane.
Is Charlene still here?
Yes.
No, I think she's living in London.
She's having a perm.
But I think that's a great idea, and I love the fact that there's so much stuff happening in Brisbane.
Boondall, I'm sorry, it's not too far away if you live in Boondall, but for everyone else, it's a nightmare.
When Brisbane Live is built over the top of the railway...
I'm sorry, I haven't been to LA. My name is Kale. Not everyone knows what LA Live is.
LA Live's the Staples Centre where they play, all the big concerts.
I know that.
Yeah, so it's just outside of the Staples Centre is LA Live. It's like an entertainment precinct, and that's what they want to build, the top end of Caxton Street. Just next to what are the parklands called there in the city?
Yeah, the
Roma Street Parklands.
Yeah, which is beautiful. And I only went there once because there was an Indian market on, which was amazing. Oh. But the dancer put his back out and had like a heart attack, and he was lying on stage for about an hour.
So once he gets himself sorted out, he could perform at Brisbane Live, which is this brand new entertainment centre straight on top of the railway there. Or they're going to open it in the middle of the parklands. What do you think? Where should they have it?
I didn't realise we actually were going to talk about Brisbane. I thought we were just going to talk about me. Anyway, otters that look like Matt Damon. Here's one now.
I don't have a watch.
Let it go. Hey, do you answer your phone? I never. I used to open my phone bill on air because everyone would laugh. It used to be, you'd get a mail then. It was like 30 pages and they'd laugh and have a drum roll to see how much I'd spent. And it was like 1,200 a month. That's when you paid for texts before they had plans.
Yeah, texts are all free now, aren't they?
I'm just trying to say how I was always on the phone. I was really popular. I know it's now that I'm a loser and a hermit, and my name's Kale, but I just do not ever answer the phone. You are one person I answer the phone to, one guy that I fancy, and mum's carer. They're the only people I ever answer the phone
So you
to.
just reply to text messages. You'd prefer a text.
Yeah.
Do you know what irks me, what I can't stand, is people who don't reply in text. They just reply in a voice message.
Oh, I hate that.
Like a voice message on screen, and you see the voice message come up, and it goes for like 6 hours, and you're like, I don't have freaking time to listen to that. I'd love to interact with you and talk to you and get sorted out what we're going to talk about right now, but I don't want to listen to a voice text message that goes for like half an hour.
I'm always out somewhere. I don't have earphones or whatever they're called, and it's like,
But I got this friend that sends me like an hour-long podcast on a text message to listen to what's going on and what she thinks should happen and when we're going to catch up.
Dump her.
I don't even listen to it half the time.
But people get, like, how do they get your mobile number? Like, because you always know there's that they ring, and on the very odd occasion, they're quite clever now. They're not even private number anymore because obviously
Is this
no
on
one
your Tinder
answered.
profile?
No, did have a Tinder profile, but I didn't. I know I'm middle-aged now, but I didn't realise. And I did when I got the results that I got.
Yeah.
I cannot internet date.
Why?
I'm too... What would you write? I'm too weird.
No, you know, just put a photo there and say, "Hey, I'm Sammy."
I did
I mean,
that.
I'm sorry.
Kale?
I'm Kale.
Yeah, maybe I should do it with Kale.
Well, I have one under my name. If anyone would be interested to click on me and swipe right, it's Terry Kwak. It's all it's quacked up to be. And you know, I love a good chat. I'm Terry Kwak, and that's all I write. And you know, the ladies, some men on maybe on a Sunday night, like to have a little chat with Terry Kwak, and you know, it's all it's quacked up to be.
I'll do that, but I don't want to meet them because
Why?
Not because of them. It would make me sick, literally, to go
Why?
on a blind date. I haven't been on a date for 3 years.
Well, that brings me to our
My
next
last
segment,
one died in front of my house.
which is the BCP Date Sammy. I mean,
Oh, no
it's
way.
the BCP Date Kale segment.
I would
If you would
never
like
do
a
it.
date with this beautiful
I
young
would
lady
never
next
do
to
it.
me, she works weekends at fruit markets, but
I'm
the
a
rest of the
goer.
time she is available. And if you'd like to take her out for a cup of tea, oh well, she is a lady for you.
I'm not available. What I do is I go to the uniform shop and I buy different uniforms and I wear them. So I'll go to the hospital
That's kinky.
I'll go to the hospital in a white coat and I'll just walk around. You get in anywhere. I've bought a $16 luminous vest, made my own stop sign with a biscuit tin and a stick. That works too. You can divert traffic. No one asks you. If you have a $15 uniform on, nobody asks you.
When I heard a story about Mike Goldman, who this morning was at the Brookfield Shopping Centre, Brookside, shopping centre at Mitchelton. This is another Brisbane story.
Oh, this is great.
And he told me via long-winded text message that sounded like I was listening to a podcast that one of the security guards, who is wearing a blue uniform, ran in front of him and goes, "Stop! Are you Mike Goldman? Were you on the television?"
Oh, my God.
Yeah.
No, did you used to be, weren't you Mike Goldman?
Yeah, and apparently Mike said, "Yep, don't you know who I think I am?" And he goes, "Well, this lady in Mather's shoes wants to meet you." And she was a massive fan, and they caught up and, you know, exchanged numbers, and they're all friends now.
Not. You're so he's so desperate. Is he that desperate?
He's engaged too. He shouldn't be swapping his details with 70-year-old women at Mather's.
How much younger is your partner? His partner.
His partner is 26.
And how old's he?
He's, last I heard, he was 31.
Oh, okay. So
46.
Because I like younger men. I mean, only because men. I'm not physically good to be with younger men, but I just find that I'm more mentally young.
Do you find that people your age are a bit old and boring?
Well, they're dead.
And
They're in homes. They've been hobbled. They've been hobbled by me in a nurse's outfit.
Or is it just that you're attracted to younger, fitter people who think a little bit quicker and, you know, have a bit more of their life ahead of them? Or
Well, I don't know because Sammy hasn't left the house for 3 years. Kale goes out.
right.
Yeah, but no, I just think there's a bit of a double standard because I actually do fancy someone who's quite a lot younger. And I want to know the age difference because he's not here of Mike and his fiancée.
Yeah, 40,
Tell me
46,
that, no.
20, it's like 20 years.
20 years, okay. So why is that okay? Or has anyone said anything to you apart from me, Kale? Kale.
Well, actually, after he proposed to his fiancée, his fiancée's...
Her nan, Kevin.
His fiancée's grandfather, Rocky, rang up and said, "G'day, Mike. Hey, listen, I just ringing to say congratulations on getting engaged, and I want to let you know something. You're a fucking cradle snatcher."
Really? What did you do?
Oh, he just laughed. He was having a
No, he's fuming.
You reckon?
Yeah. He's gonna. You need a uniform. You
And
need a police uniform.
And the other day, Mike was having a chat to Bianca's dad, Dimitri, and Mike's friend was there, and they were talking about music and DJing and this song that came out in 1996, and Dimitri said, "Well, I don't know about that because I was busy changing your fiance's nappy."
Oh no!
Poor Mike. Anyway,
but it's all
Terry
right.
Kwak doesn't go out with girls
so
too young.
are you planning on having children? See, that's the thing.
You know what? She said to him earlier this year, "When are we having kids?" And Mike was like, "Well, hey."
No, because
Yeah, well, he wasn't expecting.
Tell Mike that like around 35, everything slows down. So he's done the right thing picking a younger woman. It has to be like that.
She picked me.
It has to be like a spreadsheet.
She picked him apparently.
Yeah. She was drunk.
Well,
obviously.
they were just friends.
Heavy drinker, is she?
They were, yep. They were just friends, and she forced herself upon him apparently.
Really?
Grabbed him and just went up for the old Pasha Rooney.
Oh, is Dimitri and the grandfather listening, Rocky, or not?
Hey guys, if you are, and it's been nice knowing you.
Oh, exactly.
Mike says.
Get a uniform.
Hey, what else did you bring in? Because I noticed that you prepared a
notes.
whole notebook full of stuff. And,
I
and
did.
Clearly, I have nothing.
Stuff since we've done since leaving radio. Your noise bit.
My what?
Your noise bit about this new website, which is really creepy. You made me look see.
So Isaac Butterfield, the Buttsman, he's got about 1 million followers on YouTube. He got me onto this. It's called ASMR. And basically what it is...
Audio, something, Roger.
So what it is basically these women on the internet who have these these women on the internet have these ears that are microphones like left and right, and they go up really close to them and just whisper in them and speak to them. And like suck on these ear microphone things and they have
lick them and stuff.
Literally millions and millions of views. They also have sites where people are just eating different things that have got microphones really close to them and like women with massive norks like just going like this, like rubbing their fingers together in front of the microphone. And it's like,
do they pay?
They say that it's not sexual. Bullshit. There's dudes wanking off over that left, right, and centre.
Do they pay?
No. Well, I guess there's probably ones where you can pay and you can
See, that's the big thing with the internet. Like, you're losing so much, like, money. You used to go to Amsterdam and pay to go in a booth for someone to go like that.
Can't you just do that in Fortitude Valley?
Exactly. I've been to it. I've done nothing. Doesn't matter.
Do you think it's a turn on to listen to someone eat?
I've got so many phobias. This is why I can't do a dating profile and write, "Oh, I'm sorry, you can never blow your nose." I hate that noise. What really gets me is the sound of a few groups of people clapping, like not a whole lot of people. Just like it brings me back to like comedy and stuff.
Oh, so you like people giving you a round of applause?
Not enough. No, a small group.
Like two people.
Like when there's an auction and there's like 12 people there and they go, or some boring team leader's giving a speech. No, that's too...
Does that turn you on?
No, I'm not saying it turns me on.
Do you like it faster?
No,
Do you like it fast?
I want it harder.
What about this?
I want it here.
Is that good?
No, you've got me all wrong. You're not even listening. I'm saying I can't handle it. Like, it gives me the creeps.
But just one person clapping.
No, I didn't say I liked it. I said I don't like it.
One person clapping is an insult, really, isn't it? It's like the slow clap.
No, but like when, the team leader on Friday says we've reached our KPI target.
Oh, and everyone has to clap or
and
it's an
everyone
insult.
goes, oh, I can't stand that. Like, it's making me sick now. In a small room, I'm sure there'd be something on the internet about that. Small groups of people clapping.
So what we've established is that you get turned on by people clapping.
No, I've said I don't. I said I've got too many phobias.
Why did you bring it up?
I can't sit if I'm not leaning against a wall either.
Oh, really? So you want to just sit?
No, it's not that. I just need something.
You can do this.
I need something firm behind me,
take
Terry.
the microphone with you and you can just sit back like this. It's
No,
great.
you're not listening to anything I say.
So
that's the problem with the BCP.
We've got ASMR stands for... See, we really should have researched this at the start. So...
You know what? I did. It's autonomous sensory meridian response.
Autonomous sensory meridian response.
Yeah.
So very little tiny sounds.
I just don't like it. I just think it's weird. But, I love the fact that the internet has opened all of this weird stuff to us. I like...
Wait. Before you tell me about this one, I'm going to turn the microphone level up really loud. And I want... Because there's a lot of people out there that will be Googling ASMR and they're probably thinking, these two people are going to do some for me. Hi, my name's
Terry.
Hi, my name's Terry Kwak.
Kwak and Kale.
Let's do it.
Oh, God, no, it doesn't turn me on. Can we stop this now? I have very important matter to discuss.
We're back at normal level.
So do you ever... I mean, you're a guy, so you'd get a lot of it. But like I get sent a lot of stuff. It's kind of how you communicate with people. Like, I've lived all over Australia, so I still keep in touch with friends and they send me funny dogs with one eye and I send them stuff. And so you get one of these ones that looks okay. It's like someone in a cooking show or someone stacking cups really quickly and you kind of go, oh, that's good. And then some dude with a massive thing springs up on the screen. Have you seen that? Where like they slip in a nude man or somebody farting or something, and it's just, I just find that really autonomously sensory meridian.
But is that what you're Googling to look for?
No, you don't listen at all,
Penises
Terry.
in everyday life. To me, that sounds like you've just Googled people casually walking through a park and a penis springs up.
Can you see that he just does not listen? You do not listen. Has Mike's fiance told him that? I just said I hate it when people send you a nice... I'm sitting with my 80-year-old mum, right? People send you a nice little video. It starts with someone stacking cups and I go, oh, Mum, look at this. Look at this guy. Isn't it funny? And then it goes, pong, and a guy with a massive dick is there swinging it around.
I sent you that.
Was it you? Thank you. I'll be back next week. Try the veal. I'm Kale.
I mean, it's the internet, and we could clearly show it, but I don't think we need to stoop that big.
No, I've got to go home and look at it now. Thank you, Terry. That was a wonderful podcast.
Thank you, Kale Nguyen. It was a pleasure having you on the show, Kale Nguyen, on the BCP, the Brisbane City podcast, filling in for On the Mic, the Mike Goldman Show, who is back next week.
How long did you do that for? Terry, you've had a statue heart attack. Terry, Nan's stuck on the toot. Come and help me. Nan's on the toot. Come on, Terry. They'd love that noise when she gets off. It's... Nan, I'm coming.